Good morning. The time is 12:41 a.m. 12:41 a.m. The date today is the 1st of March 2020. The 1st of March 2020. The day is Sunday. Sunday. In Hebrew Iconology T993, Sunday is the first day of the week. If the soul is born to a male, he is called Kwesi, the soul. If the soul is born to a female, she is called Akosua. Kwesi translates as Kotne Kwesi, when you have reached, because the first to arrive was the first to reach the destination programmed. So he alighted at that destination. Okosiye, Kwesi. The female is Akosua. Ako means when one goes. Suya, when you reach your destination and you're carrying things, you are loaded, like you're helped to offload what you're carrying. Swa means what you're carrying. But when it also means Wakosua, you've gone and put yourself. So if you visit me, I'm carrying you because you're in my care. So when she arrived, the man was already here. So she came under his care, Akosua. But Nkosua also means, get this, egg. The female carries the egg. So her name translates as when she got here and what she was carrying with her when she got here. The soul's characteristics is born leader, guide and protector. Sunday, the sun, it's a light. It shines the way, it leads the way, and it guides and it protects. My name is Kojo. It means I'm the Monday male born. If I was a female, I would be Adowa, the dance of grace. Our soul's characteristics is Bajo, the calm and peaceful seed, the calm and peaceful child. I'm here to talk to you about two forces in existence. Push and pull, good and bad. But watch this. The word existence denotes nothing else but life. If you're not alive, you have failed to exist, even if you once existed. So the word existence only denotes life. So the question is, what is life? Life is but four pillars. Only four pillars. Everything you see before you, is not a billion different things, even though we have given a billion different names. But the houses, the roofs, the lights, the equipment that made the lights, everything is earth. Pillar number one is the physical part of the four pillars. The physical part, the one we can touch, feel, do everything with, mold, shape, reshape, break, tear, everything. The human is 20% earth. Pillar number two, water. The human is 80% water, filled with 80% water. Life is supported by water. More life lives in the sea than on land. It's a greater habitation to support life. Pillar number two. Pillar number three, air. It's absolute to the human. You can't go without at all. Not even for 1 minute. Not even for 10 seconds. When you hold your breath, all you're doing is holding that which you've already taken in. And your body would eventually exhaust that. And when it's exhausted, that's when you are truly now going to count how long you can hold onto life without life. If you exhaust all the air in your system, it means you're missing one pillar, pillar number 3, you're dead. If you come back to life, it means you reconnected to that pillar, air. But if you didn't, you will stay dead. Pillar number 4, the sun. Scientifically, the sun is for your growth, photosynthesis, fact. But imagine, you think there are a billion things on this earth, and they all access these 4 things if they are considered to be living beings. Means the sun, you see water, it divides itself into many, many different forms and supports many different lives. Some can't live in salt, some can only live in fresh water, some can live in muddy water and don't really do well in fresh water. Earth, it divides itself: white earth, yellow earth, black earth, green earth, blue earth. Air, it divides itself: clean and dirty. But you see the sun, it doesn't divide itself. It's one pill for all living things. So it means that one pill in the sky has the growth hormone within it for everything we call billions. Just one pill. And these are the 4 things that come to a 4-sided pyramid that my Egyptian cousins call the pyramid of life. 4 things. And the human, for you to be considered alive and listening to me right now, it means you're connecting these 4 things. So we talk about 2 forces. Understand, these 2 forces are controlled by 4 elements. A good person, is earth, water, air, and sun. A bad person is earth, water, air, and sun. A mad person is earth, water, air, and sun. A sane person is earth, water, air, and sun. A murderer is earth, water, air, and sun. A rapist, earth, water, air, and sun. What does this mean? It means there are only 2 forces: push, pull, good and bad. You see, it all comes down to, we all have the power, to move mountains. It is true. The human is earth, raised earth, raised earth. And if you are able to immobilize the human to your tune, to move from one end to the other, you have moved mountains. If you are able to immobilize a billion to move from spot A to spot B, you have moved mountains. If you're able, to divide humanity's opinion, you have split the waters. 80% each individual is of water. You have split the waters. If you're able to get humanity to shout to your core, you have commanded air. If you're able to get humanity to understand, just to understand, you have commanded the sun. Four elements, 4 energies, 4 powers, 2 forces. And both forces come down to a matter of choice. Choice. You can command earth and move mountains for good. You can split the waters so the captives can find their freedom on the other side, away from their captures, or capturers. You can blow horns that will bring down walls by commanding air. You can reflect the power of the sun to blind your enemies by commanding the sun. 4 elements that comprise to come together to make one. That one is called life. Earth, water, air, and sun. Life. When one is missing, death. An upside down pyramid. When the pyramids meet in the middle, it's called life and death. The power over life and death. In other words, the Star of David. When you receive the power over life and death to do as you wish. You can choose, as Caesar would say, thumbs up, live, thumbs down, die. Life over death. There are only 4 things in existence, and there are only 2 forces that control these 4 things. Push and pull, good and bad. But understand this. You see, Earth, the Creator made it so Earth cannot discriminate. Why? Earth will feed the poor, will feed the hungry, will feed the rich, will feed the greedy, will feed the murderer, will feed the rapist, will feed the sinner so-called, will feed everything that commands it to feed it. As long as that thing is Earth too. So if Earth calls on Earth, Earth does not judge Earth by Earth's acts. Earth is set to just obey Earth. You see, water, it will quench the thirst, of the slaves under the ship, pulling the ship to go. And it will also quench the thirst of the masters above the deck, who are counting profits equally. Water would not say, that's a poor person. I'm going to give that poor people, they're only going to be allowed to drink filthy water. So I'm going to create water for, No. Anyone who goes to water and asks for water, as long as that person or that being is living and it is water would not discriminate. Air, absolute to life. You need it like the animals do. You need it like every living being does. But you see, air, it doesn't care if the person murdering you is starving you of it. It will still not starve itself of the person denying you of it. It's set in the order of creation. You are here to serve. You're not here to judge. As long as the body is connecting, all 4.
Stupid internet.
And as long as life calls on you, you will respond. Water doesn't judge. Not by acts. And not by wealth. Pillar number 3. Pillar number 4, the sun. Someone will say, you fucking slave, you're beneath me, you're a dog. But a dog receives the same growth hormone you do. The dog understands that growth hormone better than you do. That's why when the growth hormone is hitting hard, the dog just chills. See it under a shade, just chilling, while the humans are running up and down, not realizing that there's a sun that's for them and there's a sun that's for something else. Some sun is hard for a reason. Snakes need to shed their skin. They need it to dry. It's not yours, it's theirs. Morning sun, the orange one, that's photosynthesis sun, that's yours. Orange sun, the evening one, that's your second photosynthesis, that's yours. The middle part, called afternoon, too hot, between 12 and 4, too hot, that's not yours. You're meant to be under a shade, somewhere with clean oxygen, under trees, chilling, listening to Anansi's sense of soul. Sense is Siwara. Anansi's sense of soul. Sense, it stops right there. There are only two forces. When you find that you are the commander of earth, water, air, and sun, and that power was given to you by nature's design. And when you find that, and when you look around you and you see humans and you see animals, and then you realize you are not above any of them. At their levels, they access these four elements as you do. At their level, these four elements, respect them. And in fact, they understand them better. Without having to put anything on paper, they understand the element better. Then you realize, if you can't be above an animal, then how dare you even look down on another human being of any creed? There are only 4 diseases in existence. The disease of earth, 1. The disease of water, 2. The disease of air, 3. And the disease of sun, 4. If you're lacking sun, everything that the sun is good for, you won't get. You have the disease of the sun, the lack of sun. For the lack of sun, you're perishing. If your water is unclean and unsanitary, and not bounded by earth, air and sun, it's not right for you. Your water would not do what water is meant to do. Not only quench you, but introduce earthly enzymes into you that will help combat bacteria and will help sanitize water even when it's within you.
I'll tell you something,
Carry on the work.
The hardest thing to do, is not being wicked.
Same with water.
It's so easy to be wicked.
80% ill.
Thing to do,
And earth, 20% ill.
Kind.
How do you cure earth when earth is ill? Scientifically, listen to this. The human, you are an individual and you're 20% earth, 80% water. What this means is that you are 80% short of perfection from earth. So your earthly body is not 100%. What it means is there are 100% vegetation, let's say 100 vegetation, different types of vegetation for this life. There is a selective 20 whose chemical DNA, are the exact replica of who you are. And that when you consume these 20, you will feel like Goku. Because you'll be consuming that which formed you, and therefore that's that which will grow you.
In an unhumane position.
So when earth is ill, it is actually time to locate the specific earth that is ill and locate the specific earth that will heal.
They say the truth hurts.
And the only way is to put earth to earth. It's simple. It's not even hard science. If you put mortar, to build your house, when you want to extend, you add more mortar. Simple. When it cracks, you add more mortar. Simple. Your mortar is the 20% selective vegetation amongst the 100%.
Then you're going to see the hidden truths.
So when earth is ill, find those, distill them to their finest property.
Yeah, it's basically the word hurts. So the truth hurts. Why?
When water is ill,
sorry, H-U-R-T-T. Yeah, it's the same.
The only way to heal water is with water.
If you applied numerics,
is to replace the water within
T
you.
is 8. Yeah. R
So
is 7.
you have to find natural clean sources of water with all the natural
Is H.
natural bioenzymes
With double T.
grown under natural conditions,
U8.
clean earth, water, air and sun,
T88.
receiving the growth hormone, living water.
Yeah, and if you apply
And you need to replace the ill water within you with the healing water.
Truth adds up to. That's the same amount. Hurt adds up
When
to.
air is ill,
Because T.
someone's coughing, they've got lung problems.
Numerical
They need to relocate.
Every other letter would.
Simple.
If you add
No amount of pills you take.
In fact, let's do the math calculation. I know you don't
From
know
the
what I'm talking
pharaohs,
about,
pharmacy
but I'm talking about
would
the
help you.
genetic system.
Why? Air is ill. It means the air is filthy.
Just quantifying your word.
And no pill will go inside you and create a mesh of filtration inside you and clean the air for you to stop you from suffering. No. You will just keep taking pills, and then the pills will break you down because you're not actually ill, a physical illness. Your air is ill. You need to change your air. You need to get into a place, the countryside,
888 WX
the forestry,
99999. You get
the
it?
jungle, where oxygen lives, where the air is cleaner and life, the pyramid of life exists. When you find you're all pale and your veins are all blue and popping out of your skin, it means you're not exposed to the sun, to the growth hormone that revitalizes your skin and everything from your core to your outer layers. It means you're lacking sun. You need to introduce yourself to sun. You see, let me tell you a secret. Hospitals are not actually there to heal you. They're there to patch you up. And let me explain it to you. They're like churches. They're there to give you hope. Let me explain it to you. You go to hospital and they operate on you. And you see the foods they give you. Yeah? Especially in England. In Ghana here, the system is so broken that if you're okay, even if you're not okay, your family still cook and you get home cooked meals. Yeah? Reason why England is not okay, because get this, the food they give them is cooked in batches.
8 plus 7 plus 8.
When someone's ill, you need to apply chemistry to everything you do to that person. And chemistry denotes, everything has to be measured
Hurt with double T.
and personalized to that individual
I'm telling you.
and delivered to that individual. Fact.
They took one T away to confuse it. When you
That's the earth. The food is the earth, that person. Yeah? So earth is ill. It's the food you're going to use. So whatever treatment you're giving them, the food should be full of freshness. In England, they've only got salad. Salad is not actually that healthy for you. It doesn't have anything. It's good for water, water retention, and fiber. But it's not good for your blood. It's not really that good for your blood. So you come to Ghana, for example, you got so many different herbs that are good for your blood. At this time, when you're ill and you're in the hospital, those are the things they should be scientifically, individually looking into, to see how they react with your DNA, to see if they suit you, if there's part of your 20%. And then they should be cleaning those things through chemistry.
Thus, what does that mean?
And delivering them to you to help with your healing,
when Jesus Christ identified
the healing of earth.
And now you've got knowledge, and now you realize
they should be putting your water in a natural state, not even in a filtered state, but in a natural state where nature has given the water natural enzymes that fight bacteria.
Or you get to them first. That's how mad it is.
Not anything, but bacteria that likes to survive in water. Because you're 80% water. They need to be giving you that specifically. Air. You're in a room 4x4 with a window and probably air conditioned. Get this, air conditioning gives artificial air. Your lungs are breathing in filth, but you're ill. And everything that goes inside you should be you. Artificial air is not you. And get this, because you're raising the temperature or dropping the temperature yourself, when you're ill, your body needs to learn how to regulate its own temperature. That's how it fights diseases. It creates the environment, knowing itself, it creates the environment to the heat or whatever to kill the germs. The problem is, when you're overcooling it, you're destroying it, because it does it from the core to the outside. That's why when you're healing, you start to sweat a lot. But when the room is too cold, the sweat don't come. It means whatever your body is trying to dispel remains. The cold helps it. They're actually meant to wheel you outside into a natural space filled with trees. First thing in the morning. Why? Because the trees have been saturating the air all night. And come morning, the pollution is not that much, and they've been releasing oxygen into the atmosphere all night, and their surrounding will be the most oxygenated. So come about between 4 and 6, patients should be out there 2 hours talking to each other, communication. 2 hours. Those that can do a breathing exercise, do a breathing exercise. Air is absolute to you. It means air is food to you. You have 4 sources of food: earth, water, air, and sun. You have to make time to eat it. Each one of it equally. This is how you reduce weight. But this is how you heal every disease. This is how you heal every disease. No disease is made to be attached to you. That's why it's hurting you, because your body doesn't recognize it. So when you give your body that which your body recognizes, it strengthens your body to fight that which it doesn't recognize. And it wouldn't matter what it is, even coronavirus. As long as you introduce what that person is to that person. It's the same with the sun. The sun is for growth. So 4 to 6, heavy breathing exercise in a heavily dense forested area where greenery is everywhere. So they go and they eat. There's a timetable for this. I'll give it to you. It's called the ORA time code. They go and they eat. What do they eat? They will eat the herbs that match the DNA code in the morning. A blended cocktail of herbs. They've had 2 hours from 4 to 6 of their first food. Air. What's air? Air is absolute to you, but where do you take it the most? To your lungs and your heart. Your heart needs every food available to it: earth, water, air, and sun. The best time to give it the food of air is that time of the morning where the air is cleanest. This is also the only way to exercise the heart, the only muscle in your body that counts, because it's the only one that keeps you alive. You eat air for 2 hours, you exercise for 2 hours. 6 o'clock, the growth hormone sun starts to pop. In Ghana anyway, it starts to come out around 6. Sunrise. That's where they have their breakfast, under the sunrise. This will go on to about 8. Outdoors from 4 to 8. Even if they want to sleep, make space for them to be able to sleep outdoors. Come about 10ish, you can bring them indoors to relax. Come about 4, you can bring them back outdoors. This time for the evening sun. You see, they keep you in those rooms, yeah, and they starve you of 4 elements and poison some of them. You're not being healed. If your hospital, yeah, is not making a priority for you to access these areas, let me tell you something. Yeah, it's going to sound strange. You see herbs that have smells. So sage, yeah, spices, all these and all that. In Hebrew Iconology T993, we're nature's people, and we believe there are four living beings. The first one is Eduani, Eduane. Edua means tree, plant. Yeah, Ni is the surname of the creator, Eduani. The second person we believe is in existence, living, is, it doesn't matter which order, yeah, it doesn't matter which order, watch. Bibi, Ni, yeah, Bibi refers to the black race, but Bibi doesn't mean black. It's the first name, and Ni is the name of the father. The third one, yeah, like I said, it doesn't matter which order, is Bro, Ni. Bro refers to the white race, but bro doesn't mean white. The beginnings of the word brother, B-R-O, Bro, Ni. So Bro, Ni, bro refers to the brother Ni, the white race. And they are also the children of the father, Ni. The fourth is Abua. Abua means animal. And animal actually translates as as in a boy, Boa means help. So something that helps you is a helper, Santa's little helper. These are the 4 living beings on the face of this planet. Everything else will be considered a rock. But listen to this. Eduani, Trini, yeah, it is only a reverse engineered Bibini and Broni. We suck in oxygen and fart out carbon dioxide. It takes in carbon dioxide and farts out oxygen. One man's shit is another man's living breath. Our shit, they love it. Their shit, we love it. But understand this. My language is saying that trees are humans. But you see, animals are not humans. Although they were created by the Father, yeah, they are not in the Father's image. So the Father's surname, Ni, does not lay on them. But they are part of life. This is called genealogy. Yeah, so watch this. So Eduani, tree kind, Bibini, black race, Broni, white race. These are from one source, the Ni. Now understand this, yeah. If I am fighting, with someone, it could be with another Bibini or a Broni, I could enlist the help of my friends, Bibifo and Abrofo, Broni and Bibini. But my language is pointing out to you that your friends are not only going to come from Bibini and Broni, they're also going to come from Adriani. My language is pointing out to you that your enemies are not only going to come from Bibini and Broni, but they're also going to come from Adriani. What does this mean? Like I explained to you before, earth responds to earth. So it depends on the heart wielding, and it depends on the heart commanding earth. So if Broni goes to Adriani and says, Adriani, I want you to give me something that I can go and take to commit this act that I wish to do. Adriani will say, I'm here. So if Broni wants to cut Adriani down, Adriani won't resist. And Broni can take Adriani, make ships, and then take the ships across Atlantic Ocean, capture a lot of Bibini, and enslave them and do his will. But Adriani, would not prohibit Broni from doing what Broni has set out to do. But get this, if Bibini goes to Adriani and says, Adriani, I want you to give me something to defend myself. Please help me. And Adriani and Bibini goes, okay, something I can use to, joke them up. Adriani will say, okay. Adriani will not resist. Bibini will cut Adriani down, make spears and arrows and bows, and fight back. The water will carry the bad people's boat to destination. It's up to them to steer it. The water will carry the good people's boat to their destination. It's up to them to steer it. But they both will perish if they both make the mistake. If a rich person gets caught out in the Sahara Desert and his Lamborghini fails to work, and civilization is very far, and he finds himself stood at the starting line with a poor person, they will face the same hardships, but most likely the rich person, because they've never had to go without, going without becomes harder. You see, the poor person, they will last longer, possibly make it to the end, because your body physically, it retains memories. And if you have a lot of hard times, when a hard time comes, your mind, your body, your soul, everything gets prepared, because it's not the first time. So you see, Adriani, I was telling you about things like herbs, like sage and things like that. Listen, we talk about magnetic fields and we talk about protection fields. You see, when you approach a tree, you see the smell of that tree. You don't smell it from your house. You have to get to a certain distance of it in order to say, can you smell? I can smell the sage. I can smell the sage down there. You see, from that moment you can smell it. That is the protective field. That is the protective field, the magnetic field, of that plant to the human nose. Some animals will smell it further, but that's yours, And get this, the protected fields, not every animal wants to be next to sage. So the smell, the further it goes, the better it is for sage. But this is the same. It's just like spiritual. It's spiritual. It's the same. So certain spirits would not like to be around sage, because Adriani also has spirits. You get what I'm trying to say? Also has spirit, because if you're Ni, it means you were created by the Father. So Adriani, Trini has spirits like Bibini and Broni. So get this, Some spirits won't like sage. Some spirit won't like onions. Some spirits won't like this, won't like that, won't like this. Some diseases, yeah, whether you have them or not, yeah, you'll notice onions are good for anti-deflammatory, and garlic, and the vegetables in that family, yeah, or the vegetation in that family. So get this: do you wait to get these things in order to take them? No, you make them a consistent supply in your diet. You medicate yourself with your food, with your water, with your air, with your sun. You medicate yourself with life. With life. What people don't realize, you see, these four elements, earth, water, air, and sun, yeah, in me, in you, it means they have been put together. Anything you put together, you need a glue. This glue scientifically is called laminin 111. It is the best distillation of earth, the 20% that is you, to its finest point. Laminin 111. Laminin, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. That's what the number 111 stands for. You need your water will be distilled to its finest laminin point. Laminin 111. Your air and your sun. And when all these four things have been distilled to their finest point, you could say they've been distilled to the pool of life. And at the point of that, you should find your maker. Because get this, you see, you can distill everything, but this is how fine I'm talking about, yeah? You still have to distill air, but you can't see air. Ask the scientists, what does air look like? They don't know. So they can't really tell you what life really is about. Why? Because without air, there's no life. So if you want to play with life, you have to have a full understanding of life. Even the god Amun-Ra, so-called, yeah, didn't know what air looked like. Yeah, you see this laminin thing I'm telling you about, yeah? His name, yeah, Amun-Ra. That's what it depicts. Let me show you. A feather for wind energy, yeah, the flight of the bird, yeah, 1. A zigzag wave for wave energy, water energy. A square box with 7 peaks on it. You need to access the sun around the clock 7 days. There are only 7 days in a week. The body is actually designed, yeah. The car battery or the battery is actually designed on the principles of the human body to reserve energy and then use it later. Yeah, so 7 days around the clock you need to access the sun. And then a circle with a smaller circle, that's earth, with a hollow earth where the magma lives. And then he sat before them. So he sat before the 4 pillars of life. But he's meant to be God, so he can't be sat before the physical earth because it's dirty, or the physical air because it's filthy, or the physical sun because it's filthy. So he sat at the finest point of these 4 things. And the finest point of these 4 things is the laminin pool, laminin 111. And at that point, that's the point of creation. And you should see God sat there. And according to Amun-Ra, the god of the pharaohs, the god of the pharmaceuticals, he is sat there. And according to the Bible, Jesus Christ says that when he ascends into heaven, he will sit at the right hand side of the Father. Well, the Masons are saying Amun-Ra has already sat there. So what's going on? So is Jesus Christ meant to go and sit on the right hand side of Amun-Ra? Understand this. The Christians have the Holy Bible. It's just a book. They give it to you. And then you read and you make an understanding of it. Freemasons have the Holy Bible. It's not just a book. It's a book. They give you that. And then they give you a ruler. Because rulers rule by rule. They give you a ruler. They give you a compass. They give you a 45-degree corner square. A right angular one. A left rectangular one. They give you a protractor. Yeah, a compass, a pencil, eraser, a rubber, and a sharpener. They give you a calculator on top. All this to read a book. The power of knowledge. There are only two forces, good and bad. You see, knowledge is a double-edged sword. They say, knowledge itself says to acquire me knowledge is by way of you acquire knowledge through experience or education. Let me tell you something. I went to the University of Portsmouth and I studied law. I studied law because I studied business studies, and within business studies you have law. One of the laws I studied was the copyright laws and the copyright infringement rules. Understand this. Anything written down in law, purports to be knowledge. And in fact, it is knowledge. Because knowledge is the composition of everything that we know. And the law is what we know. And the law is knowledge. But get this, it is knowledge acquired through education. But knowledge says you acquire me through experience or education. So, do the copyright laws, apply if the work produced by the person has been taken through the route of experience to gain knowledge. Because the copyright laws are written by the route of education to gain knowledge. Today, someone made a comment and said, it was a song actually, a lady by the name of Raina. And she said, because I'm using my mind. You say this comment in passing because I'm using my mind, but you don't actually understand its true implications. To say you're using your mind is to say you're not using another's mind. You see, education, you go and they give you a book, someone else's mind, someone else's findings, someone else's calculations, someone else's understanding, someone else's knowledge, someone else's mind. But when you use your mind, you're using your experience. You have actually changed the route. You gained knowledge. You are now on the route of experience and no longer on the route of education. And since the copyright laws, are on the route of education, it means the work to ascertain knowledge through experience is a different route. Thus, if copyright laws are allowed to block the route of experience in the acquisition of knowledge, it means we will never find anyone who can truly say they have got to the end of their destiny before they died. Because your destiny is the acquisition of everything you know put into action. But then if someone is able to come off their route and block you from ascertaining your destiny, it means education is intentionally, unfairly competing with experience. So, how would we provide a remedy for this? It's simple. We have to get the person who claims to be on the route of knowledge through experience to prove this fact. And if they can prove that it is experience speaking and not education, then unfortunately, what that means is if they didn't learn about your song, their destinies cross paths of your song. So, for example, Sia, Sia, S-I-A, the lady, the beautiful Swedish lady. Let me tell you something. I didn't really used to listen to her type of music, but one day I found myself needing a teacher, needing a psychologist, needing a physician, needing a mom, needing a sister, needing everything that will make me whole. But at the time, yeah, although I had access to all these things, I couldn't access them when I needed them most, anytime. They also had their own lives. And then, yeah, I found a channel. And this channel was Siamad. Every 2 songs, Sia will be played. And then I heard the advice my sister wanted to give me, the advice my mom wanted to give me, my physician, my daughter, yeah, my son. Then I heard the message that God has sent through Sia to me. Chill. You're not going crazy. Chill. Listen to her music. If they're not calling her crazy, you're definitely not going crazy. Look at her videos. She's sent to show you that you are actually on the verge of greatness. Listen to her story. I didn't choose Sia. Sia chose to tell her story, and she was hoping someone would hear. But it just so happened that at the time I was living a life that needed someone who had lived and had experienced. I needed experience to talk to me. And experience came in the form of a beautiful voice, Sia, Celine Dion, Whitney Houston, Bob Marley, Coldplay, The Verb, Bittersweet Thing. You get me? Dappy. I can go all day. Law. These are not my words. The dictionary explains every word. Without a dictionary, the law book has no explanation. So if the law book believes one thing and the dictionary explains one thing, it means the law book is wrong. So for example, by law they say, you have to teach homosexual sex and the homosexual acts and homosexual things in school. But get this, knowledge says you acquire me through experience or education. But education is someone else's thoughts. So let me give you an example of someone else's thought. Someone sat down and devised the first mathematic calculation, yeah? And then we took off from there, and he said 1 + 1 = 2. Yes, a man and a man equals a man and a man. But get this, experience has taught me a man and a woman, 1 + 1 = 3. Me, the Mona Lisa, and my son Kwame. Experience has taught me differently, yeah, from mathematics. But get this, I can prove factually that experience has taught me right. Yeah, I can prove that experience has taught me right. You understand what I'm saying? I can prove that. That experience has taught me right. 1 + 1 = 2. But what did education add? Nothing. They added nothing to that. 1 + 1 = 2. You had one in one hand, you had another one in the other hand. You added them together, and you had 2. Why? There's no life involved in the equation. It's death. If a man and man refuse, yeah, to see the woman, eventually they will die, and that will be the end of them. 1 + 1 = 2. But get this, if 1 + 1, yeah, if one is a female and one is a male, yeah, then get this, you write a stick, you cross the stick, you call that the plus sign, yeah. After a few hours, you lay next to each other, equal in sign, for 9 months. After 9 months, you two stand up and there's a bundle of joy. And then you count 1, 2, 3. Oh shit, 1 plus 1 equaled 9 months later 3. 1 plus 1 equals 3. If they're twins, 4. 1 plus 1 equaled 4. Exponential. When life is involved in the equation. You understand what I'm saying? When life is involved in the equation. When death is involved in the equation, you get stagnancy. Stagnancy. No growth. No growth. No growth. So, with that understanding, let's go to the dictionary and look up the word sexual intercourse. Sexual intercourse. Sexual intercourse is sex between the male and the female, and it is purposely for reproductive purposes. Meaning, gay people do not have sexual intercourse. Meaning, lesbians do not have sexual intercourse. So what are we teaching? We're teaching death. And I'm not saying you can't be gay. I'm saying understand the language. Apply the language. Apply the facts. And let facts dictate the truth. Because the truth shall set you free. You can be gay. You can be a lesbian. It's your choice. But we cannot impose it. In fact, it raises the question that we should actually, by law, be teaching sexual intercourse within education. From the ages, from the ages of 10 to 18. Yes, we should be teaching sexual intercourse education, which only applies to the sex between the male and the female for reproduction of life. The only thing that matters. Life. The power of knowledge. I love you. Talk soon.
Odoye way.